Hello and welcome back. Another week, another episode of The Garden of Ethan. I welcome you back. I hope you're doing well. What's with the get up? I hear you asking. Well, from the title, I would assume you knew. Today we're having a little fun episode. I said this a couple of episodes ago, I'm pretty sure, and someone was like, that sounds like it could be a fun idea, and I was like, I'm rolling with it. Welcome to Ethan's top men of 2023. I know we're already in February. Okay, I know I'm late to the game. I understand this since we're, not in the year. But, it's like one of those look back. I thought I'd try and do like award show, like the Oscars. I'm here to celebrate. I don't know, does anyone wear just a tie and a white shirt to the Oscars? No, but I couldn't think. Also, it looks a bit bad, but I can't have this top button done up. This shirt, this is a white shirt I've had for quite literally years. Because I don't actually need one. Wear a white shirt when I'm dressing up for a video. So I never buy a new one that actually fits me. So that's why this isn't done up. But I was I think it would be fun because we're doing this sort of basically it's just going to be a 30-minute chat about who I find attractive. But I thought it'd be fun to kind of encapsulate people on my zeitgeist, is that the word? People I've been thinking about, people I've seen through 2023 and new shows, maybe some music. That's not a big list of people, but it's more from shows and movies I've watched who I've really enjoyed, who I think is an attractive guy. Just my favorites of 2023. It's not the biggest list of people, as I've said. It was kind of just I quickly thought about people from the shows that I've watched. I quickly went through all the shows I've watched, and this is what I came up with. And I try to stick, there's obviously I watched a lot of things, but they weren't strictly all from 2023, so I kind of just try to keep it from that, who popped up, because obviously these people were all alive in all years, but you know what I mean, you know what I'm trying to get at. Also, I can't stop looking at myself and being really confused, because obviously, this is just a tie I have. My housemate bought this for me. It's a really nice tie. But it's not the tie I would have worn. But this is what I wore to high school for obviously I wore a shirt and a tie, not, but it was a white shirt and a tie. I wore this for year 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I wore this for 6 years. I'm looking at myself and I'm have we traveled back into, what the fuck is going on? It's just strange to see. When you wear something for a very long time, then you don't wear it ever again. I don't wear a white shirt and tie anymore. So it's just strange to see. Granted, at high school, I wore short sleeve shirts because obviously I didn't want to be, especially in summer, it was way too hot to wear a long sleeve shirt, even though we did have them. But it's crazy. Yeah, interesting fact, I don't know, a lot of, I'm not going to say that. I was going to say a lot of Melbourne private schools all have, uniform. I know. So I had a uniform for all my schooling. Obviously not university, but, primary school and high school. If anyone wants to learn about, I think I've touched on it in a couple of videos, but Australian schooling, how that all works, or if you have any questions about it, let me know, because as we know, I love to chat and talk way too much about the different Australian stuff. But we should just get into this, because I'm ready. I'm in my about to award show season, so let's go for it. But I will say, this is in no particular order. I just started writing them down as I was going through my my own YouTube history of all the stuff I posted. Then some at the end aren't strictly from stuff this year, but those are my general loves or But basically, this is just going to be a complete, mostly vanity show for these people of I think they're good looking and that's why they're on this list. But hey, it's my list, and it's not the top list of brilliant actors, or even though a lot of these actually are very brilliant actors. I could do a list of a lot of different people, but I thought the hot men would be fun. With a sprinkled few in there that I just had to throw in because I wanted to, and also it's my list. I keep saying that. I need to get better at just like when I make my video, being like, it's just gonna be this way because I've made it. I like make apologies for it for like no good reason, because I feel like if we're here, we've fostered, we have a pretty cool like group that we listen to the podcast. So like, thank you for being here. It's great. First up, Jacob Elordi and Barry Keoghan. I can't really say his last name, but obviously Saltburn ended off last year. I have liked Jacob Elordi for a long time. Like, I don't think I've watched him in anything. He's just Australian. I have found out, weirdly through a lot of different things, that I am semi-really patriotic in very weird ways. I love just like people who are Australian. I think that's cool, getting to see like, you know, actors in Hollywood who are Australian. There's just that like weird like connection where you're like, hey, I like you because you're Australian. And then there's like, I got into like this whole like a good couple of months ago of listening to like Americans and other people reacting to like Australian like songs and ads and like big Australian things. And oh my god, like they're things that I know, but to watch someone else and like to see them I was like nearly crying to these random YouTube videos. I thought that was so much fun. Or just like people like only things you'd see in Australia. I went down a whole hole. Anywho, that's a different topic. But so that's how I know Jacob Elordi. I think he possibly grew up in Melbourne and went to... Oh, I really want to know what high school he went to. I feel like he went to... Where did Jacob Elordi... Oh, no. I was there. Go to school. St. Kevin's College. And maybe another one. But, like... Oh, he went to one in Brisbane as well. He, like, went to a school that, like, I know of. I have, like... maybe like one friend, like old friend that I know who went there. Like I go past that station on the train like very rarely, but like it's that thing where it's like kind of crazy. And Barry Keoghan, I really liked. I don't know him from a lot of things. Obviously, my newfound obsession from me is from Saltburn, and they're both like beautiful men. But he was in Eternals. I don't know if anyone's seen it. It was a Marvel movie that got a lot of flack. Like, I feel like a lot of people didn't like it. I thought it was fucking fantastic. I love that movie. I think it's so good. I like its slower approach. I like the bigger cast. I think it's very interesting. I could do a whole like, and I've thought about doing a deep dive into that movie. It's like a kind of reaction, but kind of more like a movie analysis, but because I think it is fantastic. And he's really good in that. His character's very interesting, and like he's like a very good looking man. So those two get it from Saltburn, because they were just fantastic in it. And it was like such a crazy movie. Also, while we're here, I feel like Saltburn, no, don't get me wrong, it had its crazy moments. What the hell? But like, thinking about it and seeing a lot of people and a lot of friends talk about it, I don't think it was as shocking as some people make it out to be. Do you know what I mean? And like, I'm here for opinions on this. Like, I could just be strange and that's why I don't find it shocking. But I didn't think it was... Like, some people are like, this is the wildest movie ever. And I'm like... I thought it was I really enjoyed it. I had a great time watching it. I thought it was super fun. I thought it was fun. That's why I was like, was it the most shocking thing? It had some good shocks, but it didn't like, you know what I mean? I thought it was interesting. But we jump down to our next one, The Bear. Now, I'm pretty sure The Bear season 2 came out last year, so technically I'm in it. But The Bear's been going for a couple of seasons. But Jeremy Allen White. I think I talked about his Calvin Klein ad. If you like men and muscles, Google Jeremy Allen White's Calvin Klein ad, because that shit was fantastic. I think I talked about it when we talked about the Golden Globes, but holy moly, that was some good stuff. That was fantastic. He's also like a brilliant actor. You know, he was great, you know, I would say when he was in Shameless. I've only seen a bit of that, but he was always really good in that show, and then getting to see him in The Bear was just amazing. I also wrote down, and this was one of those like, kind of like he is still like a very attractive man. Not as much my type, but he had to go down on the list. Eben Moss Backranch. I can't say his name. I'm very sorry for butchering it. But he played Richie on the Bear, and he just like became one of my favorite characters. Also, the man has the deepest, bluest eyes you'll ever see in your life. Like, I fell into them, like completely and fully fell into them, and it was fantastic. Like, you know, his character and his acting was so good, and they were both so fun and good in that show, and just like, oh. But I'm just like thinking about Jeremy Allen White. Wow, these celebs need to drop their workout routine. Also, I think that's just they probably have personal trainers for the shows. Oh, maybe not actually, because the Bear wouldn't require him to be super fit. But some of them, I bet, have like great personal trainers. The others just like take very good care of their body. Also, like, they might have a lot of money, so they can afford to upkeep their bodies a lot. But jumping down to the next one, and we knew this was going to have to come up. It should be at the start, but it's not. But two of the biggest crushes of last year, obviously Nicholas Glitzine and Taylor Zakar Perez. Like, Red, White, and Royal Blue. It was such a thing. It encapsulated me for months. I still think about it all the time. I still love it. I still I follow both of them. I make sure I'm seeing what they do. Nicholas Glitzine keeps popping up in everything. I watched all these like different movies he's from. I'm still like excited for Mary and George, which is coming out that he's going to be in. Which, if you haven't seen, I reacted to the trailer. Some of that shit could send me like absolutely. Oh my god, that is going to be a crazy show that I can't wait for. It's just like a bit of like maybe even crazier sex scenes than Red, White, and Royal Blue. But like Taylor Zakar Perez, it's one of those things where I feel like when there's two leads in a show, especially like a gay show, I always like, you know, I always love both of them, but I always pick one. I'm just like, you're more attractive, like, you know, the one that you find attractive. I can't do it. I can't actually pick because they are both first of all, brilliant actors. Let's not diss that. But secondly, they are just amazing looking men. And I can't the more I see on them, because I fell down a deep 6-month hole of like really like seeing where they're going, what they're doing all the time. I don't know, they just seem so cool, and like TCP has like all like so much like interesting stuff going on that he like posts on like stories and stuff, and you're like, what is he even doing? Where is he? He's very like into fashion and stuff. It's very interesting. And Nicholas Glitsine's in a lot of different things that you get to see in movies and stuff, and it's just like fantastic. They're fantastic to look at and fantastic to follow. Next up we have, and I've got them kind of separate, but Tom Hiddleston from Loki. Tom Hiddleston, only older years, but still looking fantastic. That man looks great. He's not old. He's just, you know, older than, well, a lot of people are older than me, but he looks fantastic. He is a, like, phenomenal actor. I think Loki, for a Marvel show, if you're not a big Marvel person, it might be a bit hard to follow, but I think Loki standalone was like a fantastic show in itself. It was really well done. I know people who don't like it, and I guess there's a little bit of bias being a big Marvel fan, but I think Tom Hiddleston was fantastic in it. He looks great. He did well. I like his, you know, I feel like I'm always trying to channel his hair. He got some good hairstylists, because I need someone, mine's always so bloody sitting up, and his all, you know, nice and slicked back. But he was fantastic. And then I put down as a special mention, Ke Huy Quan, who is also in like a lot of things, and he's done a lot of things, but everyone, or like a lot of people know him from Everything Everywhere All at Once. That gentleman is the biggest cutie sweetie I've ever seen in my life. I don't know if you've ever seen him in any interview. Oh, when he won, I think he won an Oscar. His speech had me nearly in tears. He seems so sweet and so genuine, and like watching him talk about things makes me excited for him and the projects he's in. he did a little, and I retweeted it. You can follow me on Twitter if you want. It's probably a little bit of a scroll back. But he talked about like the final episodes of Loki. They had like all the cast do different things, and he was talking about his character and how much he loved like being in the second season, and everyone like talking about his character, and he is just insanely like. He's so sweet. He seems like the best person. He seems like, obviously no one is happy all the time, but he's just one of those people that like radiates positive energy. And that I love. I love that so much. Jump into a movie, which I really enjoyed, Painkillers, Pain Hustlers. I was like, Painkillers are just a normal thing. Pain Hustlers, a fantastic movie that came out this year that I really liked. Forced my mum to watch it. She enjoyed it too. I love it because I'll tell my mum to like watch things after I watch it. It's like I test run it and then let mum know what to watch. And she was like, yeah, people at work, sometimes she'll be like, people at work talk about these things and I watched it because you told me to. So I love being able to test run all the different movies for mum. But Chris Evans, what do I need to say more? Like, a classic forever has been so attractive, he seems so cool. Like Captain America, for Johnny Storm in Fantastic Four, like that's going back. If you know that, it's not like the oldest movie ever, it's like early 2000s, but if anyone remembers him in that, you know what I mean. Also tweeted about that too. I saw something on him. But Chris Evans, man, that's a guy. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like everyone's on a Ryan Reynolds train, and I get it. But like Chris Evans, I'm on the Chris Evans train. If I'm riding one of these trains, I'm picking Chris Evans. Okay, now another show that was filled to the brim with attractive men, the live action One Piece. I went into that show not expecting like anything or knowing anything because I haven't watched the anime. Big anime fan, but I was so excited to see like a big production live action of it. And I went in and I was like, what the fuck's with this show? Everyone's attractive. Even the like crazy people that had all the special effects makeup on stuff, when they're out of the makeup, they're all attractive too. But I'm talking about the main four boys. Also Emily Rudd, who is also like, I could do a whole thing for like the ladies in these movies and shows too. But we're here to focus on the men. I know the demographic that I'm interested in. But it's Taz Skylar, who played Sanji, Anaki Goldoy, who played Luffy, Makinyu, who played Zoro, and Jacob Romero? Romero? I can't words, who played Usopp. Four very good looking gentlemen. Anaki Goldoy, who played Luffy, the main character, also seemed like such a sweetie. I remember watching an interview. This is just like my obsessions, my men obsessions of 2023, because like I get into these shows and it's so fun like watching along with people, and this is kind of like a recap of like the whole year of different things. But I get to talk. This is fun because I get to talk about what I do, like when I'm not on camera, or like after like a show's done, or like be like following up like these actors because I really enjoy them. But Anaki was in a like interview with the original creator of One Piece, and the creator was like talking about how he is the vision of like, you know, the live action version. He is what he wanted. And I think like Anaki cried, and I nearly cried, and I didn't even know anything. That was before I'd even watched the show. And I was like, wow, these like, it means so much to these actors, and it's so fantastic. But Taz Skylar, who plays Sanji, out of the One Piece cast, he wins my most attractive man vote of that show. That man is a specimen. Wow. The fact that he learnt to cook also for the show, same as Jeremy Allen White, I will say. But I was like, he learned how to cook for the show, which is so fun. And he also like took kickboxing. If you look him up on like Instagram, you can see like kickboxing videos of his. Crazy stuff. I assume they may be on Twitter too, but he like learnt shit, and like, wow, very crazy. Like, I love hearing about lengths certain actors go for like their roles, like to learn how to cook, to learn how to kickbox, to learn like specializations that your character does, I think is so cool. I think it's absolutely so cool. And seeing that and getting to watch, he was doing like some jump kicks that I was like, that's possible to do with said body. I was like, how does he even jump and kick? I was like, I can't jump. I was like, and this man is doing flips and shit. I was like, wow, call me impressed. Wow, man crush so hard. Okay, now this one is an interesting one because it doesn't really pertain to 2023, but I threw him in as a fun thing because I had to. But because I was watching, and we've been watching, and it's just finished, which is really sad, but Percy Jackson, and we've had such a good time watching Percy Jackson. I've been thinking a lot about the movies because obviously I was going to not compare them somewhat, but think about that because I had seen the movies and that's all I knew because I didn't read the book. Logan Lerman. And I talked to a couple of other people on Patreon about it. I was like, Logan Lerman is looking great these days. Like, always has, but like, wow. Man's attractive. Man's got the flowing locks. He's looking, I know nothing else about him. Like, there's nothing really to say here besides he's looking fantastic. Another show that came out, I'm pretty sure in 2023. August 2023. Okay, good. I was right. I wanted to make sure. Kit Connor. Attractive man. Seems really fun. Like, the fact that, like, is so cool about, like, this age and of technology and stuff is you get to see, like, behind the scenes, you get to see like the cast posts, you get to follow up on the cast, see what they're doing, see them and the other actors interact, which I think is so fun. And then you get to like seem like you get to know a bit more of their personality. Obviously you don't know them or anything, but you're like, I have kind of like a vibe of what they're like. And he just seems like a fun guy. Like, I love that. I feel horrible that he like really started hitting the gym because a lot of people saw him casted, and there's like a whole vlog on him doing a workout with a fitness YouTuber, I assume, and he was talking about how, you know, people didn't think he was buff enough to play his character, so he hit the gym a lot, and then he's really enjoyed it, which he looks great. But that was like really sad, but like, you know, he looks good. And he's just like such a good character. He acts so well. It's just fantastic. It's fantastic to see. I'm, big crush on Kit Connor. He seems just like the best and really jokestery, which I enjoy from seeing like the cast interactions. Okay, the last one that's really 2023 focused is Troye Sivan. Because Australian, we've covered. That's a fun thing for me. I've gotta send my yes, great, because he's Australian. Also, fantastic album, absolutely fantastic album. Do I need to say more? Like, obviously, he also is a beautiful man. Like, he's one of those people that I'm like, he looks beautiful. But that album, fantastic. If you haven't listened, I think I've talked about it in a couple of other videos at least, but if you haven't listened to Troye Sivan's new album, do, because it's just very good. It's such a fun listen. Very upbeat, very like, makes you want to move your body, which is like the best thing ever. But we go into my last couple of people. It's been like, I love this because it's like such a quick list, but it's so fun to talk about and really jump around what I watched last year, but these are just completely random. Tom Holland is always one of my favorites. It's one of those things I can't make a list of like the men that I find attractive without putting Tom Holland on there. He's been like my celebrity crush for like years. Probably for a decent amount of time. I don't know. I think he's cool. I think he's great. I think he's very attractive, very talented. If you need to see his talent, watch him do the Umbrella lip sync video. If you haven't seen that, go bless yourself with it. I think it is like one of the best things I've ever seen in my life. It's fantastic. Also, he comes from a background in dancing, so because he was Billy Elliot, I'm pretty sure. So obviously he has that ability, which is fantastic. I don't know. It's one of those things where sometimes you like can't even explain like attraction. Sometimes, obviously, he, like, body-wise, he looks fantastic, and personality-wise, he seems really fun and goofy, and he always, like, leaks the scripts and stuff, which I think is hilarious. But it's just, like, one of those things, I'm like, it's just that, crush to an extent, because, it's parasocial. I don't actually know him, but, like, celebrity crush for a good couple of years. And I'm like, he has to be on the list. Another one that is is an interesting one. His name is Froy Gutierrez. I hope I got the name right. I watched him. He was in 1 or 2 seasons of Teen Wolf. Back in the day, I don't know any Teen Wolf fans listening. I loved that show. It got a little bit worse towards the end, but and the movie was a bit of a fireball. Got a reaction to that if you would want to see that. But he was in a couple of seasons of that, and I had followed him ever since, just like on social media, because I was like, this man is possibly one of the most attractive men I've ever seen in my life. And so if you don't know him, definitely go Google him. I don't know if I'll add pictures as I go. Now I'm thinking about it. Maybe I should have said that at the start to remind myself while I'm editing. But whether I add pictures or not, we'll see. You'll know if I have them or don't have them. But he's just one of the most attractive men I've ever seen in my life. And is that strange that I'm like, that's the only reason I've like followed him all these years? He isn't I'm pretty sure he's in a couple of like Spanish shows that I haven't seen, but he's just at a lot of like fashion. He's at a lot. He seems to do a lot of things, but I don't follow that. I kind of just see him on like Instagram and Twitter and stuff. But recently, I'm pretty sure there was also like a lot of rumors about him, and this other actor that they were dating, and I can't think of his name, but I'm pretty sure he just like is in a relationship with another guy. This has just become the gossip circle, but I'm pretty sure he's in a relationship with another man I follow who is wildly attractive, and they together are like the most wildly attractive couple I've ever seen in my life. If you search him, you should be able to see like an article on who he is dating. I'm pretty sure they're dating. They had a picture of them kissing on one of their Instagrams. I feel like that kind of alludes to it. But if you see a picture of both of them, you'll be like, oh yeah, I get it. They are unbelievably and so unbelievably attractive. Yeah, I think about them a lot. I'm like, wow. Good for them. Good for them. You get it when you see it. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things of like, I can't wait for hopefully someone to comment, I've Googled them and I get what you mean, because you'll get what I mean. One of the last ones is Ross Lynch. He's a singer, but he also acts. Obviously, I think a lot of people know him from his days on Disney. I knew him, but I didn't watch anything when he was on Disney, but I really started to really love saying, you gotta say the love with that, it's not actual love, but I really started to love him when he was in Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. I loved that show. It also got worse as it went on, but like the first like couple of seasons, that show was fantastic, and he was in it, and like he looked fantastic, and it was so fun to see him. And then he also does music. I don't listen to his music that much. Some of the songs are actually really good, but when I was on TikTok, and I don't even have to be on TikTok to see it, to see him at his shows, he like takes his shirt off a lot or like wears a singlet, and he is very attractive, and he does these like slutty little shows, and he just always like wears a hat. He always looks fucking fantastic, and it's crazy, and the videos are just amazing. I don't know if anyone knows where I've been. If you know what I mean, we both get it together. If you don't, I hope you Google it, and then you're welcome for me introducing you to these people. Wow. Absolutely wow. But those are the three that I was just like, they have to be like added to this, but they don't actually come from any of the things from last year. Also, there's probably 1,000 things I forgot. I only quickly like went through what I had watched last year, tried to make sure that came out that year as well. It was one of those things of doesn't actually like I was like, there's probably 150,000 more men that could go on this list. I just like wanted to do, because I was like, I want it to be not take a year, because it would take years for me to go on every man that I find attractive. Also, I don't know if this is bad to say. Shout out to the hot guys at the gym that I go to, because, I ain't staring or anything, but there are some attractive men there, so they get a honorary shout out. But that's my list. That's my list. It's not the most interesting or in-depth list, but I thought this was so fun to talk about. I enjoy just having, it's like one of those, it's, the podcast that I want to put out is just like a fun, like, weekly catch up, hangout, chat, and this is such a fun thing that obviously love to chat about hot guys. It's the best thing ever. So I hope you enjoyed listening to me rant and rave about different things I watched last year and who I found hot. But I just hope you enjoyed, and maybe you got to learn about a couple of new people to follow, to like socially like keep an eye on, like what they're gonna be in or like what they're about, because there are some good ones on this list. I will say that now. Unapologetic. There's some amazing men on that list. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed and had a fun time this week, as I very much did. I hope you're having a great day, and I hope to see you in the next one.